Hey guys, and welcome to my quest guide for the 2022 Members Quest Extinction. So to start this quest, you will need to have completed Eye of Het Part 2, Desperate Measures and the City of Sentiston, and all the requirements leading up to these. There are no skills required, but there is a lot of combat, so high combat is recommended. Items required, you will need to have the measure if you have completed the Fate of the Gods quest, and recommended to bring your archaeology journal and the 6H circuit for teleports, food, armor, weapons, combat potions and a restore potion. And enemies to defeat, there's 11 Sekar, 4 Glaciites, multiple Shadows, 2 Dark Lords, 3 Muspat, 3 Large Muspat and 3 Enraged Muspat. All levels are on the screen. So to start the quest, you're going to head to the Archaeology Guild and run north to the entrance to Sentiston and speak to Moya. Go through the chat with her and choose Accept Quest. Carry on going through her chat. And when you've done talking, go ahead and head through the door into Sentiston. And choose option 1, Continue Extinction. Do not teleport down into Sentiston, otherwise it won't enter through the quest. Go through the chat with Saren.
4 gods united against the threat. Many fought. Our defenses were failing. Still.
When you get control again, you'll be inside the city of Sentiston at the north. Just go straight south, make sure your camera is facing north, and just go down the steps to the south. There will be 11 Sekar around the hole in the floor here. Just go around and kill them. They're not too difficult to defeat. They are between level 91 and 98. So they don't take long to kill each of them. Once all 11 are dead, you'll get a message to head down to the cathedral in the centre of Sentiston. So head south. The cathedral doors will be closed, so click to enter the cathedral doors. If it glitches like mine did, just click them again and you'll go inside. Head south and to the centre area and speak to one of the gods around the centre. Hold down the spacebar and go through the chat. Now, I was reading it while I was doing the quest, so I'll speed the video up a little bit to try and keep up with just skipping through. When you finish with the chat, Saradomin will tell you to go to the eastern gate and help out with the fungus. So head out the eastern side, make sure you fix your camera if it switches round. Head out the eastern side and just follow the path straight. So when you get over to Croesus area, in each of the 4 corners there is a mutated fungal item that you can gather from. So go to each of these. There is one for mining, one for fishing, one for woodcutting and one for hunter. So go ahead and gather from these 4 locations until each of them are empty. So in the southeastern area there's the mutated fungal spores, which will give you hunter XP. Just watch out when you get things thrown at you, they will reduce your stats. So if you brought a restore potion, just use these if you feel like you need it. I waited until after it was finished before restoring for the majority of it. In the northeastern corner there is mutated calcified fungus, which is mining. In the northwestern corner is the Mutated Timber Fungus, which will give you woodcutting XP. And then in the southwest there is Mutated Fungal Algae, which will give you fishing XP. Once you finish gathering from all four, Gorvek will let you know that you're done, and that means you can head back to the cathedral in the centre again. So head back down the path you came from, do not teleport. Run back to the centre, and then you're going to speak to Saradomin to find out where you'll be going next. So head back inside. Saradomin is on the south side of the centre. Speak to him and he'll tell you to head down the southern area. Make sure you flip your camera back round if it does change to make sure you're going south. And then head all the way down south as far as you can go and through the barrier. Pass through the barrier and go ahead and speak to Azanadra and go through the chat. Now you need to light the braziers here to open up the portal in the southwest, and you will be getting attacked while you're doing this, so go ahead and light the middle and westernmost braziers and leave the easternmost one unlit. Go through when the portal turns purple and go ahead and fight the generating glacier. It's not too difficult. They are level 112 and there will be 4 of these fights to do. They will spawn in some miniature versions like the normal glacier does, but they're still pretty easy to defeat. So when the first one's defeated, go back through the portal after speaking to Azanadra, and then we're going to have to find our way into the other 3 portals. Now these are a little bit easier. Each of the other 3 give you access when only one of the braziers are lit. So just go through each of them one at a time, and you will see in the bottom corner it turns purple when you can enter it. So we have the eastern one lit first. Go through and kill the glacier. Head back through the portal again. Put out the fire that you lit on the brazier to the east. And light the middle brazier. And head back through the portal. Each of the glaciers are exactly the same, so there's no variation in how you kill them. Back through the portal once again, put out the middle fire and light the western brazier, and back through the portal. One last glacier fight, and then when you're done, back through the portal, and you're going to head through the barrier to the north once again. Head north back through the barrier and run all the way back up to the cathedral once again. And then when you get up there, you're going to go ahead and speak to Saradomin, just like we did before. So through the southern door, speak to Saradomin, and he will tell you now that you need to head into the western section. Make sure you fix your camera when you get control again, because it tends to flip upside down. So run west. And you'll see a siege engine partway down the stairs next to Nex. So click to command the abandoned siege engine to take control of it. And you need to use this to destroy all the other siege cannons to the west, just further down the steps. So click OK. You will get a little option down here if you want to exit. It might be somewhere different on your screen. And just click on each of the siege engines over here. If some of them don't have an option to attack, you can just click on top of where it is, and it will just shoot in that area. You will see what I mean in a minute, like that one up there. Sometimes it doesn't give you the siege engine option, but if you just click the ground next to it, it shoots in that direction. Once you've destroyed all of them, you'll get a little cutscene, and Kerapak will appear and go through his chat, and he will summon some more cannons. So when you get control again, you just need to do the same thing. So just go through, destroy the cannons, and more will appear. And just keep doing this until you're able to move on. He eventually gives up, and you'll be able to head back to the center. So just shoot each of the cannons. you'll get a white screen and more cannons will appear. Keep shooting them and just keep doing the same thing over and over. So after a couple of minutes of shooting cannons, you'll get another cutscene. You'll abandon the siege engine. Go through the chat with Kerapak again. Once that's done, head down and destroy the last remaining siege engines with whatever weapon you have with you already. They have 30,000 hit points each, so just go ahead and get them down. There is one to the north, one just to the west, and one to the south. Once the final one is destroyed, you will get another cutscene. You will get a view of the northern part of Santistan, and Zuck will be climbing out of the hole. Once you get control again, you're going to head back to the center cathedral once again. Go through the chat to gain control and run back up the stairs. And just the same as before, we're going to go ahead to the southern side and speak to Sarah Delman. Go through the chat. So Saradomin and Amadil will discuss destroying the eggs. Saren doesn't like this, so she will disappear with the eggs. So just keep spamming through the chat until you get control once again. And then after the cutscene, you will end up back outside Santistan. Go ahead and speak to Moya. And go through the chat. You can actually speak to any of them out here. I don't think it really matters which one. And choose option 4, continue. You can go through the other options if you want a bit of dialogue, but you can just press continue. Keep going through the chat again. Again, I'll fast forward the video a little bit during the chats because I was reading through it. So when you finish going through all the chats, go ahead and teleport to Anachronia. Head to the northwest. So you're going to head up to the northern area, down the stairs where the agility course starts. So when you get down here, you're going to be heading into the door where the effigy incubator D&D is. So north, up the steps, and to the west, the little doorway in the side of the cliff. Choose option 1, yes, to continue Extinction. Head down the steps. When you get down the steps, go ahead and speak to Vicendithus. Go through the chat with him. And you will end up handing over the measure. So he'll go over to his workbench and start working. Give it a minute, and then if you try and speak to him, he won't speak to you because he's too busy. So go and speak to Hannibus, just to the south of him. Go through the chat. When you finish speaking to him, speak to Vicendithus again. Once again, he'll carry on working. If you try and talk to him, he'll be too busy. So go and speak to Hannibus again. And go through his chat. Only a short one, then speak to Vicendithus again. Once again, speak to Hannibus. And go through his chat. And then speak to Vicendithus once again. He'll tell you to go and contact the others, so go ahead and use the communication device that you received. And go through the chat. They'll tell you to meet at the World Gate. So if you brought your 6-age circuit, go ahead and teleport to the World Gate. If not, go quickly to the bank and pick it up. But if you don't have a 6-age circuit, you can teleport to the Eagle Peak Lodestone and run south. When you get there, speak to one of the group. And you'll go into an instance. Speak to one of them again. And there's more chat. So after discussing where you're going to go search for Seren, choose option 4, Tardidad. And go through a little bit more chat. And then go ahead and enter the World Gate. So everyone be on the other side, go ahead and speak to one of them. And once again, more chat. So hold the space bar down. Go through the chat. So when you've got control, you're going to go and head around Tardidad. So you need to run around these areas and find the crystals. So head to the east, follow the path, and then southeast into the little house just south of the bridge. And you will see a resonating crystal. Go ahead and investigate that. and go through the little chat with Vesendithus. Once you've done, head back north down the stairs and then east over the next set of stairs, or up the next set of stairs. And there's another house just at the top of the stairs. Head in there and investigate the next crystal. And you'll go through a chat with Moya. So you'll see everyone move to the centre, so go ahead and head over to the centre area. You can see where they are on the minimap. And there's another crystal to investigate and a bit more chat to go through. So after that, we're going to head north over the bridge. You can see where everyone moved to, just near the northern building. So head up to where everyone else is and speak to anyone of the group. I'm going to enter into some more chat. So I'll hold down the spacebar if you're not interested in reading it. And let's get through the chat and on to the next section. When that's over, you will be teleported back outside the world gate. So, go ahead and speak to someone in the group again. So another discussion about where to go, and this time they will tell you where we're going to head. So once the chat's done, go ahead and click on the world gate to go into the next area. And if you haven't already guessed it, you're going to hold spacebar to spam through the chat, because these guys like to talk. So when you get control again, they will have moved and you need to head across the islands. You can see just north on the minimap, if you click where the two yellow dots are, you'll just run straight through to them. So once you get up there, you will see Hannibus. Go ahead and speak to him and go through the chat. And after that, go ahead and go northeast where the other two yellow dots are on the map and speak to Moya. So when you get control once again, everyone will move west of where you stood, so go ahead and run over to them. Speak to someone and go through even more chat. Once they disappear, go ahead and head back to where we came in. So run east and then south. Kind of like a backwards S shape we're going to be running. Everyone will be stood in the place where you entered. Go ahead and speak to someone in the group again and you'll get another cutscene. Kerapak will appear once again. Go ahead and speak to someone in the group, go through some more chat, and we'll have the same thing as before. We'll get given another location to go, so go ahead and click to go through the world gate. So Kerapac will be there going through chat again. Now I don't think the option should choose matter, but I chose option 2, chastise Kerapac. And then the second time you get the option, I chose option 1, reason with Kerapac. And then I chose option 2, it's better than nothing. Again, I don't think the option matters. So, back outside the world gate. Keep going through the chat. Into the world gate once again. Speak to someone in the group. Once you've gone through the chat, choose option 1, yes, to say you're ready. And you end up in the next room. Little bit more conversation. Talk to anyone in the group. Once you've done that, go ahead and climb down the ledge, which is on the northern side. Click to descend ledge, and you'll be in the Elder Halls. Choose option 1 to continue Extinction. Speak to Moya or someone in the room with you. Go through all the chat with Seren. So when the chat's finished, we're going to head back up the way we just came. So on the western wall is a rock face to climb up. So click exit rock face. Continue Extinction, option 1. Go through some more conversation with your group. You'll talk about a portal, a shadow portal that's appeared. Then you're going to go back down to the halls to where Seren was, so descend the cliff again with the ledge. Option 1, Extinction. Speak to someone in the group. After you finish chatting, I'm going to head back up once again, exit the rock face. Continue Extinction, option 1. Speak to one of the group. And then you'll get some options. You can go through them and read the dialogue if you want. But if you just want to get on with the quest, when it comes up, choose option 4, continue. So when you finish chatting, you'll get a cutscene, so you can sit and listen to it, or just click skip cutscene in the top corner. So after the cutscene, there'll be another big discussion about you not feeling the effects. So obviously the next thing is you are going to have to go alone through the portal. Now this next part has a timer on, but when the timer runs down you don't die, you just end up back outside the portal, so it is safe to take your items in. But you need to make sure you've got at least 6 inventory spaces, otherwise it won't let you in. So when the chat's done, we're going to go ahead and head through the portal. But if you just wait a minute, I will show you just a little clip of what is through there and explain a few of the things before we go through a walkthrough of how to do this, because it did take me quite a few tries and a few failures. So in here, you will be able to walk to start off with, and the higher percentage you get, the faster you'll be able to, and you'll be able to run eventually. So you have these motes of shadow anima, which will give you, I think, 3%, as you'll see in a minute. 4% Erebus Anima Attunement. You have these souls, the little blue ones, which are used for moving boulders, which you will see in a minute as well. And then there are another type you can see just to the northeastern corner of the screen, up there, like a purpley colour one. Those are used for opening the rifts to gain access to newer areas. So, enter the portal now. The first thing you're going to do is just to the north, you're going to go and collect the blue Telekinetic soul remnant. I'd already picked one up, but you will pick the one up that's on screen. Once you pick that up, go just to the east, and just northwest of the portal there will be a boulder. So click to levitate the boulder. When you get the green writing, click somewhere on the floor to the south, just to move the boulder out of the way. Then you'll be able to get past here, so run north and capture the Abyssal Soul Remnant and mine the Shadow Anima Rock while you're there. Once you've got both, head back south. The Shadow Anima Rock looks like an ore in your inventory. You can just click to crush that, it will give you a higher percentage in your power. Head through the inactive rift just to the south, that will use the Abyssal Soul. And there's 2 more motes here. So go ahead and collect them. And then we're going to head back out. So you can either click the button that has appeared in the same place where the one with when we were using the cannon before was. That will exit out quicker, or you can just wait till your time runs out. Enter the portal again. This time, when you go in, you're going to grab the blue soul fragment just to the north. Go to the east and levitate the boulder. Move that to the south. Go north and capture the Abyssal Soul Fragment. Back south again, through the open rift, which is the one in the northeast. Pick up the next soul fragment, and then you can use the button to teleport back out again. So that will give you now access to the next area when we come back in. Now, I did a little bit more exploring here before I understood it completely. So if you want to do that, you can pause the video and carry on. You can make your way into this next area through the Western Rift. And there are some more of the motes and some more of those rocks to increase your percentage, but they are not necessarily needed. So if you want to follow along the guide and leave them, then we can do that now. If not, just pause it and have a bit of an explore. So unfortunately the next section was corrupt file, so I can't actually show it. So we're going to talk you through it with screenshots and talk you through how to do it, and hopefully you can figure it out that way. You should be started with one of the blue soul fragments and one of the abyssal soul fragments in your inventory before you go through the portal. So as soon as you go in, go through the rift to the west, which will use your abyssal soul. And then when you get through there, use the soul to move the boulder that's in the middle. You need to be moving this over to the east. There is a little symbol on the floor with 3 circles around it. So move the boulder onto one of those circles. Just like you can see on the screen, I'll circle it for you. So when you've got one of those boulders on, you're going to head back west and go back through the portal where we came from. This will take you back into the first room where we started. When you get back in this room, capture the Telekinetic Soul Remnant again, and then head back through the same rift to the room where we just moved the boulder from. So the next, we're going to run through where we just moved the boulder away from, and just to the northeast of that is another boulder. So go ahead and levitate that onto a second one of those little circles. Once you've moved that over, you will notice there's another Abyssal Soul Remnant underneath, so make sure you pick that up as well. Then once you've picked that up, head just northeast, and there is another rift just northeast of where we've placed the two boulders. Go ahead and use that Abyssal Soul Fragment to get through that rift. When you get on the other side of that, there will be two new fragments, an Abyssal Soul Fragment and one of the blue Telekinetic Souls. Go ahead and collect both of them and go back through the rift where we just came from. Then when you get back through, there's one more boulder just south of the rift. Use that last soul you've just got to levitate that boulder onto the final circle. So once that's done, you'll be able to go through the center of those three boulders. It will change into a lodestone. So go ahead and go through there, and then teleport back out to Kerapak. So this can take multiple tries. If you didn't do it the first try, you got teleported out, just keep trying. You just need to make sure you start with one of each of the soul fragments. And if you can't do it within the time, maybe look around and gather some of the rocks and some of the motes to increase your percentage. Maybe get your speed and your timer up a little bit and try again. So once we've got the lodestone unlocked, you will be back at Kerapak with a lodestone fragment in your inventory. So go ahead and head back through the portal once again with your lodestone fragments, and we're going to do the same as before. We're going to gather the blue Telekinetic Soul Fragment just north, use that to move the boulder, go up and get the Abyssal Fragment, and then teleport back out to Kerapak so you can start with one of each in your inventory. Go back through the portal once again. So when you get in, collect the Telekinetic Soul Fragment from the north and then go through the western rift. Now, if you did this right, you shouldn't be starting with an Abyssal Soul Fragment, so pick up the one just to the north where we moved the boulder earlier. And then head through the lodestone. Go south over this like rift gap. Run south again, move the boulder to the south end using the blue soul fragment and just move it north out the way. There's a rift just behind it, so click to activate that. Click up to pick up the motes while we're here. Go through the chat. Mine the shadow anima rock for an extra bit. You can crush that while you're there. And then there is another kind of travel across platform to the south. Go and travel across that one. You'll be on another little island. Collect everything here. Go for the blue shadow anima first, just in case you run out of time. And then you can collect the rest after if needed. So when you end up with a memory in your inventory, you'll be able to exit out or wait if your time is almost up. Go through the chat with Kerapak, and then we're going to head back in once again. And then we're going to head back in once again. So back through the portal. Pick up the Telekinetic Soul Remnant. Back through the Western Rift. Pick up the Abyssal Soul Remnant. Back through the Lodestone. Go south across the gap. Then just to the east there is a rift that's like the divination ones. Go ahead and click on that to throw the green memory in and it will change colour. Then click to activate the soul geyser to shoot up onto the next platform and go through the next rift using the abyssal soul fragment you've just picked up. Then when you get through the rift, go ahead and click on Idol of the Leviathan to go through the chat, and that is the puzzle area complete. So once you've gone through all the chat, you will head back out to Kerapak and everyone else. So there'll be a little bit more chat and then another cutscene, so you can watch this and pause the video or click skip cutscene in the top corner. So after the cutscene, go and speak to one of the people in the group and go through the chat. And then Kerapak will appear. Well, an echo of Kerapak. And he'll go through a bit of chat about what happened. Again, I was reading it, so I'll put the video on a little bit of a fast forward to try and keep up with just holding down the spacebar. So after the chat, the echo of Kerapak will disappear and he is gone. So now we need to head back down to the Elder Halls. So go to the north and descend to the ledge. And there'll be a bit of a conversation with Moya and the other group, people of the group. Once the chat's finished, click once again descend the ledge to go down and choose option 1 Extinction. Then go ahead and speak to Seren. Go through the chat again. Choose option 1, tell him what happened. And then there's another long conversation, so either read through it, pause the video, or same as always, hold down the spacebar. After the conversation with Seren, she will disappear and teleport away and leave a portal behind. Go ahead and teleport through the portal. And you will see the 3 eggs and Seren. Go ahead and speak to Seren again and go through all the chats. So after you finish going through all the chat, when everyone disappears, run to the south to the little group of yellow dots. Go ahead to speak to one of the group here. Go through the chat again. So during the chat, you'll try and talk the elders into leaving, and they will refuse. And then once the chat's over, you will have a few people around the village you need to go and convince to leave. So after the chat, the cutscene will end. And we need to head up into the village now. So just run to the north. Head to the east, up to the first house that's kind of in the central location, and speak to the craftsman. Go through his chats, he'll need help gathering his tools. So just run outside the house and pick up the 3 tools from the floor. You can see the red dots on the minimap. And then go back in and speak to him again. Go through the chat, she'll give him some tools. Then head back outside and run north. And just north on the shoreline, not in the house, is actually near the water. You will see the pond keeper. Go ahead and speak to him, and he'll say he needs help catching some fish first. So he'll give you a bucket. There's a little bubble in the water just above him, in a fishing spot, and click to catch 4 fish. Once you've caught them, give them to him, and he'll agree to go. So the next ones you need to speak to is just southwest of him, the plant keeper and the plant keeper's sister. Go ahead and speak to them. And they will ask you to collect some seeds from 4 of the plants that are around the village before they leave, then they can take them with them. So the first of these plants is just northeast. Click to collect it. Then the next one is just southwest. Then run a bit further south, past Seren and the eggs, and just southwest of Seren is another one. And then further south again, there is another one just south of where the elders are. Once you've got all 4, head back up to the plant keeper and give him the seeds that you've collected. So once you've finished speaking to him, the next one is a bit further south. So if you run south towards where the elders are and your friends and everyone, there's an elder stood with the past keeper. Go ahead and speak to the past keeper and go through the chat. He tells you that he intends to stay, but he will pass on his stories. So once you've done that, head back up the northeastern path to the first guy you spoke to, the craftsman. If they didn't disappear, go ahead and speak to him and go through his chat just to make sure that you've been through it all. And that should give you a cutscene, and everyone should disappear off the map when they're ready, and you'll get the warning that they're evacuating. So go ahead and head back to your group. Speak to one of them, go through the chat. Head north and speak to Seren. To say that they're ready, that the elders are coming and won't give you any more time. Go back and speak to your group again. Vicendathus will give you some shards of the needle. And go through the chat, and some symbols will appear on the floor to the north. You need to go and stand in them and place the needle shards. So click on the circle in the center and then click to place shard. So there's one just southwest of Seren and just southeast of Seren. Once you've placed two of them, she'll teleport you into a square, and then you will have to start fighting. Now there is a fight after each of these shards now. But this first one, there are some shadows that are immune. So you have to kill these small shadows to be able to attack the larger ones. So every time they appear, just attack the smaller ones, keep your health up, and then attack the bigger ones when there's none of these small shadows. The small ones only have 500 hit points, so if there's multiple of them, using something like Ricochet or Chain will work well. Probably make it a little bit faster. And once the first one's dead, these rifts will appear, and you will need to, these unstable energies, you'll need to move them. So if you just click on them, and they'll move around. I think they move towards you. I didn't quite figure out how it worked. But you need to try and get this unstable energy towards the other large shadow, and then that will damage him. When he starts getting hit, he will teleport around, so you have to move out the way again. Now, I don't think the unstable energy does any damage to you, it's just the shadow that does damage to you. So once they're all gone, you can go ahead just north of Seren and place the next needle shard.
You must understand, World Guardian.
So once you place the third shard, once again she'll teleport you into the middle.
Face the wrath of the Muspah.
This time she will summon this big thing and some Muspah. So go ahead and fight them. Now this will come in 3 waves. There'll be some normal size ones, some large ones, and some extra large. Now this is not a safe fight, so if you die you will go to death. I didn't try teleporting out, so I'm not sure if you can teleport out if you need resources, but always worth a try if you're running low. I actually died the first time I got to this round because I wasn't prepared for it. So all you need to do is kill the 3 level 150 Muspah, and then when they're down, the big thing will kind of slump to the floor, and there is 2 Marwisps in the center. You need to attack them. You'll be able to see them in a minute. You just need to avoid this flame thing that comes across. There we go, Marwisp. Just attack that. When you get a third of the way down, everything will start again, and the next wave will start, the slightly more difficult ones. So there's 3 main attacks you need to be dodging. There's that fire wall that comes across, which is quite easy to see. There is a meteor shower that comes down and lightning that comes down, but if you watch, you can see the lightning coming now. It's quite easy to dodge. So go ahead and kill the 3 large Muspah. They're exactly the same as the first round, they're just a little bit of a higher level. It's slightly more difficult. And it'll be the same thing again. Just dodge the flames or just like surge or run through them. Once they're dead, it will collapse to the floor, attack the Wisps in the middle, and then get ready for round 3.
No, not again.
So, once they're down, the enraged Muspar will appear. And this fight's just the same, once again, except they are a higher level once again, hit a little bit higher, have a little bit more HP. But the main attacks you need to be dodging are pretty much the same. You've got the lightning attacks, you've got the firewall, and you've got the meteor strike. So once all 3 of these are dead, you can take out the last bit of health on the Wisps. And once that's down, and you're ready to go and place the next shard. If you have died like I did, you need to go south and get the shards once again from Vicendithus. And then take it back up. Place it on the space to the northwest of Seren, and then this is the hardest of the 3. Make sure you use Protect from Magic to lower the damage. Now I know a lot of people have died from this. You do not need to fight, you need to survive. So you just need to dodge. When she shouts fire, move, because the Seren Remnant who you are stood next to will shoot fire at you and hit you for around 2,500 each time. So just keep moving. After a minute, the eggs will start coming and giving explosions. So again, you just need to stay as far away from them as possible. Keep your health up. If you've got a shield, use that. So just keep dodging. So try and stay as far away from them as possible. If you are definitely going to get hit, try and just get hit by 1, then it should be easy enough to heal. After another minute, she will start spawning more versions of herself, different colours. Now these can be attacked, but you don't need to. You just need to avoid them. If you attack them, more will respawn. So you will see in a second. There we go, there's the spawns. They will come and attack you as well. So just keep avoiding them, keep running around. Everything else will pause for a minute, well, for a few seconds, but then it will start again. The fire will start, so you need to be keeping an eye on everything that's going on. And after another few seconds, the eggs will also start. So you will have the fire going, you will have the egg explosions, and you will have these other versions of Seren chasing you. So you do this for about a minute, keep your health up. Things hit you for 2,000 to 3,000 quite regularly, so just do your best to keep it up. And after a minute, you will have completed it, as you'll see. Just keep avoiding everything. The big thing is the fire and the eggs. The other attacks are quite small, they're not too bad. So as long as you stay away from the eggs, there we go, you can see it's complete, and you will go into a cutscene with Seren. So go through the chat with Seren, and then you will need to head to the world gate as quick as possible. So once you get control, run to the south. Head straight down to the world gate. And just before you get there, Moya will close the gate. So you won't be able to escape. Head back up to Seren. Go through the chat with the voices and you will enter a cutscene. So once again, I'm going to skip through this, so pause the video if you want to listen to it. Once the cutscene's over, you will be in this white area with Seren. Go ahead and speak to her and go through the chat. Now it's quite a long chat, so I'm going to stay quiet. I will fast forward the video once again because I was reading it. I'll try and do it to about the same speed as it would be as holding down the spacebar. Eventually you will get to a chat option of whether you believe her or not. I chose yes, this spares the universe. Not sure if there's a specific option that needs to be chosen, but that one worked for me. A little bit more chat and then you will end up back outside the world gate. So Moya will be lying, saying that there was nothing she could do. And then they'll find out that she tried to kill you. So go through the chat with the rest of the group and Moya, and she'll disappear and you can chat a little bit more. Once you get control again, you'll need to head back to where we started the quest. So go ahead and teleport to the Archaeology Guild. Make sure you move away from the world gate, otherwise the teleport won't work. Head north, back to the entrance to Centiston. Go through the door, continue Extinction. Run all the way, well, most of the way south, head back to the cathedral in the centre. Once you get in, go ahead and speak to one of the gods. I don't think it matters which one you speak to. Go through the chat, they'll ask about what happened and you'll give the information and they'll tell you a bit about what happened after you left Centiston. when you finish chatting with them, they will disappear and just leave Aznadra alone. Go ahead and speak to Aznadra after they've gone, who will tell you to meet him back outside in the sunshine, which is where we started the quest. So go ahead, you can either run north and exit that way, or you can teleport to the Archaeology Guild and run north. I think they're about the same distance, so it doesn't really matter. Once you get up to the door, go ahead, speak to Aznadra and go through the chat. Go ahead and choose option 4, continue. And that will give you the end of the quest. So for completing the quest, you get 4 quest points, 4 XP lamps with 175,000 XP each that require level 75 or above. You get access to the Dream of Aya and 2 treasure hunter keys. So it's quest complete and well done.